excitement for our last video. Welcome to Professional Movie Reviews. This is Mark, and this is Billy.
Hi!
And we're doing our lists today. Our top 5 best, our top 5 worst, and our top 10 most anticipated. It's a little later than January, but we've been really busy. So we're going to do right now, we're going to do our top 5 worst of 2016. Click like if you like this. Click dislike if you dislike it. Fuck it.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. I don't care if you like it or not. Click subscribe. You don't care.
Like us on the Facebooks. Like us on the Twitters.
Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitters at official UMR, capital U, capital M, capital R. That's a Triforce.
Tell me you like my shirt.
But what we're going to be doing here is our top 5 worst films of 2016. A little disclaimer. We're not actually going to write a disclaimer, but a little disclaimer.
Unprofessional movie reviews.
This isn't just the worst movies that happened this year.
Because we knew a lot of the movies we were going to see were just...
Yeah, and then, if we did a video that was like the worst movies that happened, then we're just going to...
Gallows!
we're just going to talk about those movies that no one's going to go see, like anything made by James Cameron. Or not James Cameron, sorry. Chris Cameron. I like James Cameron. What's his name? Chris Cameron? The guy who did the Christian movies. But anyways, Kirk Cameron. I don't even know his name. But yeah, so this is movies that did we not only think were going to be good, but at least had the potential of being good. These are movies that had A-list celebrity stars that we like. Yeah, and a shitty vehicle. So that's our disclaimer. So we're gonna do a little bit of honorable mentions, and this is an example. This movie is worse than any of the other movies that I'm going to be talking about. The Gallows. The Gallows is a really, really, really bad movie. It's supposed to be a horror movie. It's a really low-budget horror movie that doesn't have any suspense, no violence, no anything. Watch a review of it. Even though this movie is so bad, we knew it was going to be bad. It's not going to be on this list because of that. But it's a garbage movie, and I had to bring it up. Yeah. Honorable mentions for me. Oh boy. I can't think of anything. Green Inferno. Vacation, maybe? Yeah, okay, that's not on my list. Vacation was really bad. That's another one that had the potential of being really good. But Vacation wasn't very good. I'm going to bring up Green Inferno really quick. Green Inferno, I really wanted to like because I wanted an Eli Roth gore fest. I got about 5 minutes of gore fest, and then I got about 2 hours of snore fest. It was a very boring movie that all they had to do was make Green Inferno. Anyways, time on our list. I'm going to open up another beer. I'll go first. You'll go first with number 5.
Number 5 for me is Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and I'm not kidding. It was, and I know what you're thinking. It was also number 3 on my best list. Well, I have a lot of really conflicting feelings with this Star Wars movie. And
are you not trolling me right now?
I'm not trolling you. I'm totally serious. I saw it twice. Have you seen it the second time yet?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
this is on your best list. We just talked about this.
Yeah, I know. The reason that it's on my worst list also is because it's so riddled with plot holes, and how the fandom has more or less ruined it for me. I walked into it expecting a 10 out of 10, so the reason it's on this list is more for disappointment factor than anything. I gave this
realize everyone stopped watching this video now.
Okay. I gave this movie a 7.5 out of 10 because that's what it deserved. I wanted it to be a 10 out of 10 because everyone was saying it was going to be a 10 out of 10. That 2.5 points is all disappointment. That is 100% disappointment for that 2.5 points. That being said, it still did get a 7.5 out of 10, so I did enjoy it. But there's a lot about it that we're not allowed to talk about, because if you do, you'll piss off an entire army of people. Like you just said, people are going to stop watching the movie because I found things about it that I didn't like.
I agree with the plot holes. And we talked about them when we first watched them. There's not only plot holes, but there's straight up bad choices. Yeah. There's a big difference between a mistake and an intentional bad choice. Yeah. And this movie does have them. I love Star Wars Force Awakens, but I will agree and I will respect you putting this on this list because this is about expectations. This is one of the best marketing campaigns ever, next to Deadpool. It's a great marketing campaign for Deadpool. But it was one of the best marketing campaigns ever to a good enough movie. Right. And that was the best thing I could say about it. When people are like, what do you think of Star Wars? I'd say it had its flaws. It was good, but it had its flaws. But it's a good enough movie.
Am I going to buy merchandise for it? Yes. Am I going to buy Blu-ray?
Yes. Yes.
But that being said, we're not going to beat this to death. If you have any questions about what my criticisms are for it, watch our review. If you didn't feel like that was a sufficient...
We covered a lot of criticisms in that review.
You can tweet at me to my personal Twitter. It's laughably_awful. And I'll totally be willing to talk to anyone about it. But anyway, that's my number 5.
Okay, and I respect it, and I respect that it's number 5. My number 5 is Terminator Genisys. Terminator Genisys is a giant pile CGI piece of shit crap that rapes my childhood. Anally. It anal fists my childhood. What?
Number 4. Terminator Genisys.
Continue. Good. We can talk about this together. Your number 4, my number 5. Terminator Genisys. There's a moment. There's like literally a 3-minute moment where they have 30 minutes to change the world and save the world and all existence because it's time traveling and there's a lot at stake. And they casually walk to it. That is one of the biggest mistakes that no one should, and that's one of thousands of things wrong with this pile of garbage.
Yeah, I was crazy skeptical about this movie when I saw the cast list, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was the only person from the first one, and the second one, and the third one, in any of them. Yeah, in any of them. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to defy my expectations. I've heard nothing but good things about Emilia Clarke. But this
I love Emilia Clarke. She's god-awful in this movie.
Everything about this movie fell flat. I'm so glad that James Cameron is like, I think I feel up to making another Terminator movie. Because now it can go back to where it's supposed to go, and we can regard these shitty ones as fan fiction.
You remember the shining endorsement James Cameron gave like a week before this movie came out about how much he really liked this movie? I want to know how big of a paycheck he had to get to make those commercials. There was literally just commercials like James Cameron's like, I'm really excited. I really like this movie, and I can't wait to see what they move forward. It's like
I'm going to go ahead and speak for him. It's not just the paycheck; it's also this is a cute fan fiction.
It's the respect. Also, you're not going to talk shit about somebody trying to. Yeah, yeah. But anyways, I think this was a movie that made a lot of choices that were a lot of bad choices.
Right.
We have a review of it. It does have good things going on. I do like a lot of the CGI. The rest of it was garbage, but there was a couple moments where I thought were really amazing.
Some of the homages to earlier movies, like the very first shot with Arnold Schwarzenegger with the punks, paying homage to that scene.
Yes,
was great.
But this movie literally did was give you that, and then go, yeah! It literally, and a lot of times, this is when somebody's like, a sequel and a remake cannot ruin old movies.
Right.
And they're right. It can't. We still have the originals. This movie literally went back into the originals and ruined them. That's literally what this movie did. It traveled back in time and shat on scenes and moments I loved. And they're trying to force feed us Jai Courtney. And he's going to be in a movie this year with Suicide Squad, and I hope it's not as bad as it... I hope Jai Courtney brings it. He was amazing in Spartacus. He was garbage in this. Emilia Clarke's amazing in Game of Thrones. She's garbage in this. Arnold Schwarzenegger's done a lot of garbage movies, and he's decent in this. so moving
on from Terminator Genisys, which
to my number 4.
Your number 3 and my number 4.
No, my number 5 and your number 4.
That was your number 5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, moving on to your number 4.
Yep, my number 4 is 50 Shades of Grey. This is the worst movie that came out this year, but I knew it was really bad, so it's only number 4. 50 Shades of Grey. Now, the problem with 50 Shades of Grey is I knew what I was going to getting into it, and they fucked that up. Like, I knew it was going to be a movie about S&M, and it isn't. It's a movie about an abusive piece of shit who likes to come on his victim. This is not S&M. This isn't, and it ruined it. I hate this movie, and I hate everyone who liked it. I hated that we couldn't breathe while we're in this movie because there's a bunch of housewives stealing all of our fucking air as they were simultaneously coming. And I was like, geez, you need to get real laid because this movie's shit.
Right, and that's another thing that I had a big problem with this movie, is that, like, this is supposed to be the book franchise that many, many women were diddling themselves to.
Yeah.
There should have been justification for that in this movie. I was expecting to at least, like, be tantalized and have it be somewhat sexy. Instead, it was just like, oh, there's a naked girl. Okay.
Hey, she's biting her lip again.
There's cock cleavage, and then there's a couple of sex scenes, and she gets hit once.
And now it's over. Now everyone's mad. Everyone seems really disappointed.
They're waiting. No, they're excited for the sequel.
Yeah, I know, and that really pisses me off. Also, there's this huge background of the original writer of the book hated the other Taylor Johnson, Aaron Taylor Johnson's wife. I'm trying to remember her name right now, but the director of this hated the director for taking the choices, and now the writer of the book's getting like her husband to like write and direct the next one. Whatever. It's the most unprofessional fucking bullshit about somebody who has no business being in the spotlight, no business having fame, making a fan fiction of Twilight got famous, and now she's trying to become the king of the world by making her movies. It's garbage. Let's ignore her. Let's ignore the next movie, and let's ignore this one.
And also, for parts, like the roles in this movie that require chemistry and require attraction and require cooperation, you cannot cast people who have no chemistry, no attraction, and really can't even stand each other. Yeah. And the two co-stars in this movie, I don't know the guy's name, but Dakota Johnson, I know, like, I've just been reading all over the internet about how much they fucking hate each other.
Yeah, they hate each other.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't just hate, if the whole movie's about that. The whole movie's about their attraction.
Right. Chemistry between actors is important. Yes, you have to work with people you don't like sometimes, but when the story relies so heavily on it, you need to buy into it. You cannot use actors who have contempt for each other. It does not sell.
The only good thing that's ever going to come out of this movie is 50 Shades of Black. That's the only good thing that's going to come out of this 50 Shades of Grey is the Wayne Brothers spoof. And I'm really excited for that. Yeah. We might be talking about that on another list.
Our next scary movie franchise will be a 50 Shades franchise.
Yeah. I'm lost where we are.
We are on number 3, because that was your number 4.
Did you? Yeah, and you did your 4, so now we're on 3.
Yeah, you can go first.
Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending. The Wachowski siblings used to be really, really... Number 3, is it your number 3 too? Is that what you're about to say? Oh, okay.
My number 3 is also Jupiter Ascending.
Whoa, we've hated almost the same exact movies. Wachowski siblings made one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Matrix. And then they made one of the worst franchises of all time, which is Matrix. And now they did okay, I guess, some other times. A lot of people really, really liked that Jump in Time Tom Hanks.
Jumper?
No, the one that goes back. It's like a bunch of stories. Tom Hanks, and he's playing like different people. It's a really weird movie, and there's the Korean guys playing white people, and there's the white people playing Korean guys, and it's like all these different times that are all along into each other. It came out like 2 years ago. Whatever. A lot of people really liked that movie. And these people were considered, like, the Wachowski siblings were looked at for a long time as going to be some of the best filmmakers because they made Matrix and it was really good. And this movie is confusing. It is hard to follow. It is boring. Its action's garbage. Its CGI is decent at times. And Eddie Redmayne mocks me in this movie for him getting the Oscar over Michael Keaton last year.
Yep. He pretty much covered everything. There's very little to like about Jupiter Ascending. Eddie Redmayne's character development is bullshit. I don't know if it's all direction or if it's him. Right. The plot makes no sense. The world building is sloppy.
Makes no sense. Okay!
Yeah, the world building is sloppy, and the characters are bullshit. Every actor is phoning it in except for Channing Tatum.
Yeah, he tries really hard, and it's funny because I always want to root for this movie because he throws himself into that role to act against, in my opinion, a talented Mila Kunis doing shit all. She's doing nothing in this movie. She's phoning it in and reading her lines at Tatum, and Tatum's like trying to be this dog soldier.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to like about the movie.
Oh, and they kept Sean Bean alive. Boo! Boo!
Moving on to number 2. My number 2, because I'm going first this time. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four.
Fan-four-stick.
The bad one. Because now we have to address the 2003 version as the good one.
That's the good ones. Oh, no. I'm not going to say that Rise of the Silver Surfer is anything but garbage.
I'm not going to say anything more about Fantastic Four. Watch our review, because what else needs to be said about it? It's fucking dog shit. That's it. I don't need to say anything else.
I think our number 2 and our number 1s are mixed up. My number 2 is Chappie. No, you keep it down. Keep it down there. Chappie was made by Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9, which is a fucking great movie, and I love that movie. I do. I think District 9's a fucking masterpiece. Phenomenal movie. It is. It's a great film. And then he made Elysium, and a lot of people are like, mm-hmm. And then this is another thing with trailers. The Chappie trailers were great. They were. Chappie had a good marketing campaign.
But the problem with that is that they showed all the good parts in the trailers.
They showed all the... Anything I'm going to remember, I already saw in the trailers. Yeah. This movie is absolute dog shit, and I have a feeling Billy's going to talk about it again in a minute.
My number 1 is Chappie.
My number 1 is Fan Four Stick. So there you go. Everything he said about Fan Four Stick, except for these things used to be comics for the last 70 years, and they were good. And they've always been decent comics. And now this is a studio, Fox, who's made decent X-Men movies. I am a big X-Men fan. I'm not going to say I really love the X-Men movies because as an X-Men fan, I can't. But I will state, if they gave me a Fantastic Four movie as good as the first X-Men, I would be happy. I'd be ecstatic. They don't even have to follow... X-Men doesn't follow lore worth bullshit. The movies don't follow anything of lore. They don't really have to follow the lore. If they just gave me excitable characters in their own right, with action scenes that are great... You remember that Wolverine versus Mystique fight in the first X-Men?
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal. Mm-hmm. You remember that time they did any action at all in Fan Four Stick?
You mean the one scene?
Yeah, for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Ugh, and garbage marketing campaign that lied to us. We wanted it to be good.
We wanted it to be
good. I really wanted Fan Four Stick to be good because I love...
Michael B. Jordan.
I love Michael B. Jordan. I really like Miles Teller. And Rooney Mara's really good. And Jamie Bell's Jamie Bell.
Rooney Mara's really good?
She's alright. She's garbage in that. That was her, right?
Kate Mara?
No.
Yeah, Kate Mara.
Rooney Mara.
It's Kate Mara.
Oh, Kate Mara's in that one?
Kate Mara's a Fan Four Stick, Rooney Mara's not.
Oh, whatever. Kate Mara's not good in this, but I liked her in Martian. Okay, alright. Anyways, what I'm saying is that this should be a talented guy who made movies, and this should be a good movie, and it just isn't. And this movie is just shit. Who are you? What movie are you talking about? And tell us why it sucks. What are we on?
We're done.
Oh,
that was it. I said Chappie.
And you don't want to bring up Chappie
So we
again?
switched around our 1 and 2. We do this a lot. We have different opinions on how shitty things are, how good things are.
Yeah, but they're usually like, I really hated that. I really hated that too. But I like this one. I hated this one more.
Yeah.
So I didn't. But okay.
I'll just remind you once more if you want to talk to me some more about why I didn't like Star Wars at the same time that I loved it. I want to talk about it with people who won't fucking rage at me and call me names. Because
keep it professional. We try to, believe it or not, even though it's called Unprofessional Movie Reviews, and I'm drinking.
But let us know what you think about our worst review on this video, our worst list. Let us know if there's anything that you thought should have made the cut that didn't.
Yep.
We're open to conversations. We haven't gotten nearly as much conversation as we'd like, so please talk to us.
Even if you have criticisms, we want them. This is all about criticism. We can be able to take it, we dish it out. Chappie was garbage, Fantastic Four was garbage, Star Wars was amazing.
And have bad points.
Has no business being compared to these movies. It has no business being compared to these fucking garbage movies. Alright,